Hello everyone, we're going to cover some of the changes from the latest update that had Awakening 2 released that had a lot of reworks to hunters. So we're just going to kind of go through them in order with the ones that had changes. So first of all, we're going to look at Gorgon as a new ability. You can see here that she has snakes that attack now instead of poison, and they target the nearest enemy, dealing 100% damage, and apply stacks of petrification. And after they get 20 stacks, the target becomes petrified and they take 10% damage of their max HP every second. This is really good on lower level enemies, but doesn't work on bosses, unfortunately. But I believe there's talks of, in newer updates, there's going to be increased damage for it, but not necessarily the 10% damage per second. And if you look, there's also Gorgon received 2 new abilities. She now has multi-shot and transfix. Multi-shot's pretty standard, but the transfix reduces the number of hits required to trigger your petrify by 1. So if we can check this out really quick. It's pretty straightforward. You can see the changes now that she has the snakes come out of her hair when they attack instead of using that old poison field. But if you look here, you can see the stacks of petrification. So once it reaches enough stacks, it now doesn't take any more damage from your attacks, but takes damage every second. But you can see it doesn't work on the boss over here because that counts as a different creature. So that's the change to Gorgon. It's a pretty solid buff overall. Next we're going to look at Druid. The change with Druid from this was a new ability here. So you have a new ability called Earth Attunement, so you can add 50% earth damage to all your attacks, which is pretty nice. It'll make it more viable. I haven't done much testing yet, but endgame Earth is pretty valuable in Chaos Dungeon, Dark Forest, or Abyssal Dark Forest. So with the new Awakening, it may become a better hunter to use in those modes as well. The next hunter that got a change here is Axemaster. It lost multi-shot, but received this new delayed multi-shot. So after you hit a target, the multi-shot then will ricochet afterwards, split into another shot, I mean. The next ability that got changed was on Raging Orc. It got a new ability called Battle Ready. So it will decrease your HP by a certain percentage amount every second until you reach a certain percentage of your HP. And obviously the lower HP you have, the better. So this allows you to constantly have your HP lowered without having to worry about your life steal always keeping you at full health. And this will combine well once it does get its Awakening 2, which is the your rage stacks will give you dodge chance. So that'd be a big buff there. I haven't tested it yet. We're just kind of walking through the changes. The next one is Vlad. Vlad is actually a very interesting change. So his first Awakening ability gives him every kill spawns a bat that will fight for him. And lasts as long as you have your Blood Frenzy. So you can see that here. So as we kill a few enemies, we get a couple bats that spawn. Once we have our Blood Frenzy up, you can see they all will join you in a fight here. Once they come over, as long as we have our Frenzy up, we'll have our bats for additional damage. And then once our Frenzy runs out, they'll despawn. And you can pick up some abilities that will give you more bats along the way. Just looking at Vlad here. So that's his Awakened ability, and then you get additional bats once you get Awakened 2. But we're not really diving into Awakened 2 at that point, but it will look a lot better once you do get it. Next is Ape Lord. Had a few changes. Ape Lord got the Regen ability. He didn't have Regen before, and also Eternal Pact is a new ability, so that's a good one to take. The other big change with Ape Lord is to his Awakened 1 ability. Attacking while enraged increases the duration of enrage by 2 seconds up to a maximum of 15 seconds. It also increases your damage and your HP by 100% while you're enraged. So that's a big change there. So it's not unlimited. And the last one we're going to cover that had a couple changes snuck in here is Necromancer. So Necromancer received frozen minions and healing minions. Frozen minions will slow enemies by 75% for 3 seconds, or you can get healing minions, which will heal you for 5% of the damage they deal. But you can only have frozen or healing active. You can't have both. So this doesn't have to be excluded. As long as you pick one by default, you'll always have that. But those are the changes to the Hunter abilities, not really diving into any Awakening 2 stuff, so hopefully we'll get into that soon. So I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.